So a new discovery in Antarctica. Researchers find new life under an ice shelf, and the discovery was an accident.
Beneath the icy surface of Antarctica lies a world full of secrets. Some fascinating, others downright chilling. From ancient meteorites and bizarre creatures to hidden pyramids and unexplained anomalies caught on satellite, the frozen continent holds mysteries that continue to baffle scientists and explorers alike.
Researchers have discovered the British ship called Endurance, the vessel that launched one of the most remarkable stories of survival and determination.
In this video, we're counting down the 15 most mysterious things ever discovered in Antarctica. Things that challenge what we thought we knew about our planet. Get ready for a journey to the coldest, most remote place on Earth, where the truth is often stranger than fiction. Number 15. South Sandwich Trench. There is a deep oceanic trench known as the South Sandwich Trench, which is located in the farthest parts of the South Atlantic Ocean, particularly close to the South Sandwich Islands. Discovery and continuous study of the South Sandwich Trench have revealed a world of geological mystery still baffles experts. Though the trench first came to light in the later part of the 20th century, its entire extent was not discovered until the 1980s by means of first seismic studies. Since then, knowledge of its geological characteristics and oceanic importance has progressively evolved, which adds to the fascination over its natural beauty. The trench's defining feature is its convergence as a plate boundary, whereby the South American plate subducts under the South Sandwich Plate, usually resulting in geological instability involving strong earthquakes and volcanic activity. This subduction process, in which one tectonic plate is driven beneath another, often causes these dynamic conditions to focus the trench and its environs as the center of great scientific investigation and discovery. Number 14. Piri Race Map. There is a map located within the archives of history that presents a challenge to the traditional understanding. Scholars claim that the mysterious map made by the eminent Ottoman Admiral Piri Reis in 1513 left many confused with its astounding precision, which preceded the formal discovery of the Americas. But what really sets this map apart is the inclusion of the enigmatic continent of Antarctica, shown without the cold covering that now hides it. From the moment it was unearthed in 1929, beneath the hallowed walls of Istanbul's Topkapi Palace, the map rocked the scholarly establishment. How could Piri Reis display such exact detail of coastlines, islands, and mountain ranges during a time when geographic knowledge was still limited? The way Antarctica was portrayed, free from modern glacial veils, spurred intense conjecture regarding the existence of past advanced civilizations or the presence of lost worlds with unparalleled geographic ability. Many theories have been put out to explain the starting point of the map. Some say it drew on knowledge from a vanished culture. More popular wisdom holds that Piri Reis might have relied on older maps, some of which might have vanished over time. While some speculate about extraterrestrial interference or even time travel, others write off these ideas as unworkable. Critics of the map's portrayal of Antarctica, on the other hand, question the accuracy of the sources that might have supplied such data. Still, the Piri Race Map is an amazing mystery. Its remarkable cartography ability has inspired more research on ancient mapping and its connections to historical civilizations and their effects. Both academics and amateurs are still enthralled by the disturbing and fascinating character of the map, which begs questions about the secrets of the past and the likelihood that old knowledge is still undiscovered. Number 13. The Endurance. Designed to cover the whole continent of Antarctica, the Endurance was the ship used in the sad Imperial Trans-Antarctic Expedition headed by Sir Ernest Shackleton. Considered as one of the most well-known shipwrecks in history is the one here. It was called Endurance in respect of Shackleton's unflinching attitude. From South Georgia Island, the Endurance sailed in 1914 toward the Weddell Sea on the eastern edge of Antarctica. Though the crew was determined to finish their goal, the ship unfortunately became caught in the heavy sea ice of the Weddell Sea in January 1915, months before the trip could even start. Every attempt to release the ship from the frozen grip came back up short. The Endurance broke apart and sank to the bottom of the ice-covered sea, finally, from the weight of the ice. Notwithstanding this setback, Shackleton and his crew made it over several months of drifting ice floes to Elephant Island. A magnificent act of endurance and leadership, Shackleton and a small group set off from Elephant Island in a lifeboat on an incredible journey that finally resulted in the rescue of the complete crew. A team searching the Weddell Sea for the sunken Endurance found it at a depth of about 10,000 feet in February 2021. Though not in its original state, the ship was astonishingly well preserved and offered insightful analysis of the supplies and circumstances of early 20th century polar expeditions. After the ship sank under the ice for more than a century, the discovery, announced in March 1022, rekindled global curiosity in Shackleton's fabled mission. Number 12. Strange bacterium. The frigid and desolate landscape of Antarctica has revealed a groundbreaking discovery, a new form of life in the form of bacteria that can survive solely on compounds found in the atmosphere. This revelation, which was brought to light by scientists from the University of New South Wales in Australia, has the potential to revolutionize our understanding of the possibilities of life elsewhere in the universe. In order to maintain their capacity to withstand extreme temperatures, these hardy bacteria are able to flourish in the harsh conditions of Antarctica. They do this by sustaining themselves through the consumption of hydrogen, carbon monoxide, and carbon dioxide. Dryness, darkness, UV light, and the thawing of frozen water. Through genetic sequencing of soil samples taken from Robinson's Ridge and Adams Flat, scientists discovered two previously undiscovered bacterial groups, HUS2 and AD3. This discovery raises some intriguing issues concerning the processes by which cycles survive. The strong affinity that these bacteria have for hydrogen and carbon monoxide enables them to extract these gases from the air, which enables them to maintain life even in the absence of conventional energy sources such as sunlight and geothermal energy. Our traditional knowledge of life forms and the techniques they employ to survive in severe environments is being called into question by this unique discovery of a living form that consumes air. Number 11. Ghost Mountain. When we think of mountains, we image towering peaks that stretch high into the sky. Mountain ranges frequently serve as the gorgeous background for a wide variety of destinations and locales that are absolutely breathtaking. The most brave persons will even dare to explore the perilous crags in the name of scientific inquiry, and the thrill of adrenaline beneath the frozen cover of Antarctica lies a jagged mountain range that bears similarities to the majestic European Alps. This revelation provides evidence that the colossal wish sheet is forming at an astonishingly rapid rate, which challenges the assumptions that were made in the past and raises concerns about the far-reaching repercussions of global warming on sea levels that are equipped with radar and gravity sensors. Scientists went on a mapping excursion of the Subglacial mountains in the Gamma TV region that had never been done before. The general consensus was that they would find a relatively flat plateau, but what they found instead was a landscape that was studded with peaks and valleys that echoed the grandeur of the European Alps. This revelation marks the beginning of a new chapter in our understanding of the behavior of ice sheets. A geophysicist from the British Antarctic Survey made the observation that the presence of these untouched jagged peaks suggested that the ice sheet had formed rapidly, preserving the rugged terrain beneath up to 2.5 million tons of ice. Number 10. Doomsday Glacier. Thwaites Glacier, sometimes known as the Doomsday Glacier, is a gigantic ice structure that can be found in the western part of Antarctica. It is frequently alluded to in a threatening manner. It has attracted international attention due to its potential to produce a large rise in sea levels, causing some to speculate about its disastrous impact on the globe. Thwaites Glacier stretches around 75 kilometers at its broadest point. What differentiates it is its rapid ice flow and its function as a barrier, holding back a major section of the West Antarctic ice sheet. If this glacier were to recede or collapse severely, it could kick off a chain reaction, causing surrounding glaciers to flow into the ocean and boost global sea levels. Scientists are quite aware of the vulnerability of the glaciers, even if the exact time frame and degree of possible sea level rise are yet uncertain. The menacing name Doomsday Glacier emphasizes the major issues related to Thwaites Glacier. The ocean's warm temperature has caused its floating ice shelf to be receding from below, leading to the retreat of its grounding line, which is the point where the glacier meets the sea. This glacier is vital in the Antarctic environment, and its behavior has major consequences for coastal locations all around the world. Though it could not be the sole sign of a doomsday scenario, it reminds us sharply of the predictable effects of climate change. Its behavior really offers a great difficulty. With an aim of clarifying the complex mechanisms guiding the fate of these massive ice constructions, challenge and continuous research are carried out. Number 9. The Giant's Pyramid. Buried under the ice, this massive construction calls into doubt our knowledge of Antarctica's geological past and begs issues regarding any past civilizations that might have called the continent home. Satellite pictures of the claimed pyramid in 2009 piqued general interest and controversy. Remaining one of the most unresolved riddles in recent years, the finding of the Great Pyramid in Antarctica has baffled both conventional scientists and conspiracy theorists equally. Given its symmetry and scale, the building is remarkable, and some people feel it cannot be a natural development. With 4 separate triangular sides, this enormous construction quite resembles the well-known Egyptian pyramids. Given Antarctica's hostile climate and barren wilderness, its site is particularly noteworthy since it is unlikely for such a massive construction to be erected there. The pyramid questions our knowledge of the history of the continent and begs the idea of a vanished civilization that long ago flourished in Antarctica, long before it turned into the frozen wilderness we know today. Many theories surround the Antarctic pyramid. Some think it is proof of an old civilization with sophisticated knowledge. Others think it might have extraterrestrial beginnings. Whether or not the image is authentic, some contend that the pyramid-like form could be the result of natural geological events or an optical illusion brought on by the interaction of light and shadows in satellite pictures. The concept of a pyramid built in Antarctica's cold environs is certain to inspire serious contemplation and continuous controversy. Number 8. The Bleeding Glacier. There have been many peculiar discoveries made in Antarctica, but one of the most striking is Blood Falls, which emerges from the frozen Taylor Glacier in the McMurdo Dry Valleys. This eerie crimson cascade has captivated scientists and explorers ever since it was discovered in 1911 by Australian geologist Griffith Taylor. Though its name suggests that Blood Falls spills blood, it really emits iron-rich hypersaline water that produces a bright scarlet stream against the immaculate white glacier background. Originating from a subglacial lake buried far below the glacier, isolated for millions of years, this phenomena is the iron and salt in the lake's water cause a special chemical reaction that gives the outflow its unusual red color. Oxidation takes place when the iron-rich water comes into touch with air, giving it a rusty crimson hue, evocative of blood itself. The lake's very high salt concentration keeps it unfrozen, allowing the iron-laden fluid to seep through minute crevices in the surface of the glacier. Investigating Blood Falls has exposed a vibrant microbial population dwelling in the hypersaline water. therefore subverting accepted wisdom on the boundaries of life. These bacteria have evolved specifically to thrive in the cold, iron-rich environment and show amazing fortitude under very demanding circumstances. Their presence helps us to better grasp biology on Earth and maybe beyond by offering insightful analysis of how life might continue in settings formerly believed uninhabitable. Number 7. Ancient DNA. The DNA that is buried deep beneath the ice is a treasure trove of genetic information. These genetic samples, which are known as sedimentary ancient DNA or SETA DNA, have revealed the mysteries of time dating back millions of years, making them the oldest seafloor sediments that have ever been discovered. They are a treasure trove that is hidden in a mysterious Ling mystery that is gradually being unraveled by the scientific community. During a survey that was carried out in 2019 by the International Ocean Discovery Program in the Scotia Sea, which is located to the north of mainland Antarctica, scientists were motivated by their desire to learn more and delved deep beneath the surface. This was the beginning of the path that led to this amazing discovery. Researchers discovered amazing genetic relics buried in the cold seas in a recent study reported in Nature Communications, exposing secrets long buried under the ice. Scientists carefully examined the patterns of damage etched on the ancient strands, as they firstly painstakingly investigated a collection of DNA samples to ascertain their age. Some of the oldest pieces astounded them, since they had survived for up to 1 million years, under constant flow of time. Fascinatingly, a lot of the samples were dominated by diatoms, a kind of phytoplankton still seen in modern oceans and the foundation of many marine food chains. This exceeds the past record kept by DNA frozen under Arctic permafrost, which goes back about 660,000 years. Though the actual identity of most of the ancient Sadad DNA is still unknown, it is without a doubt that it belongs to the eukaryotic domain, which comprises, rather than bacteria or viruses, plants, animals, and fungi. The insight this genetic discovery offers on the Earth's climate history adds even more significance. According to the DNA record retrieved from the Scotia Sea, there were several millions of years-old proliferations. Number 6. Underground river. Rivers are hidden water currents that flow beneath the surface of the sea or within caves that are submerged. These phenomena, which are driven by variations in salinity and temperature, create ecosystems that are one of a kind and have the ability to transport sediments over vast distances, which can have an impact on ocean dynamics. Rivers continue to be a fascinating aspect of the hidden natural wonders of the Earth, despite the fact that they may not be very common. Scientists and divers are familiar with rivers, but discovering one in Antarctica is a completely different story. Despite the fact that temperatures are quite high, this particular subglacial watercourse in Antarctica is a complete mystery for the natural world. This river, which is hidden beneath the ice, is almost 285 miles long and flows into the wetland sea. The presence of this river was discovered through the utilization of ice-penetrating radar that was carried aloft by planes during a series of aerial surveys. As we make our way through this underground labyrinth, we come to the sobering realization that beneath the supposedly impenetrable ice lies a complex river system that thrives linked and interconnected as if thousands of meters of ice did not shield them from the world above. This is what sets this discovery unique from others. Considering that the Catman region is so huge that it is comparable in size to both France and Germany combined, its presence raises issues about the likelihood of possible relevance on a global scale. There are 4 enormous ice masses that the river flows beneath. According to these bounds, the Institute Ice Stream, the Mueller Ice Stream, the Support Forest Glacier, and the Foundation Ice Stream Academy Glacier are all protected glaciers. As the river retreats, it emerges from beneath the ice shelf and flows into the common sea, which is covered by ice. In the event that this hidden realm were to melt, It could contribute to a staggering 14-ton rise in global sea levels. Although such a transformation would not occur overnight, it does introduce a dimension of uncertainty as our world struggles to deal with the consequences of a warming climate. Rivers have the ability to shape the future of the planet in profound ways. Number 5. Impossible phytoplankton. Despite the fact that the sub-zero temperatures and unrelenting winds that characterize the surface of Antarctica produce an environment that appears to be unfriendly to any kind of life, the population of phytoplankton, which are microscopic organisms, challenges this assumption. These small photosynthetic living forms are able to survive in this environment. They are able to thrive close to the surface of the ocean by utilizing sunlight as their primary source of sustenance. Under certain circumstances, they can even develop vast blooms that cover hundreds of square miles. Under the direction of Christopher Horvat, a physicist from the University of Auckland and visiting assistant professor at Brown University, a team of scientists produced this revolutionary finding. Their studies disproved the conventional wisdom holding that the severe circumstances of Antarctica stop photosynthesis in the higher layers of the water. Similar events seen in the Arctic, which had been somewhat connected to human-induced climate change, motivated the research into these subglacial blooms in Antarctica. These samples were examined for a certain pigment present in all phytoplankton, and paleontologists achieved a quite remarkable find despite the present condition of frozen desolation in Antarctica. The scientists wanted to know whether photosynthesis could also occur in the Southern Ocean, next to Antarctica. Collecting samples, submersible equipment called BGC Argo floats 2,197 dives into the ice of Antarctica from 2020 to 2024. Together with other researchers, Brazilian paleobotanist Dr. Jocelyn Monroy conducted 2,023 studies that clarified the fiery mysteries of this continent. Based on paleontological samples gathered on King George Island in the South Shetland Islands archipelago, the study questions accepted wisdom on the temperature of Antarctica during the Cretaceous period, almost 75 million years ago. Active volcanic eruptions over this period produced regular forest fires in Antarctica. According to this fresh research, these fires occurred often during that period rather than randomly. The studies carried out by the Brazilian Antarctic Program and the Chilean Antarctic Institute shed important light on the dynamics of Antarctic evolution and the surroundings of past times. Though Antarctica is in the southern hemisphere now, its usefulness as a study topic is still great since it has special environmental features. The finding of prehistoric forest fires in Antarctica emphasizes the interdependence of several environmental elements and their influence on the worldwide temperature, therefore providing essential new perspectives on Earth's past. Number 4. The South Pole. Vast holes in the Antarctic ice, reminiscent of a scene from a famous John Carpenter film, have captivated scientists for decades. Covering thousands of square miles, these massive gaps challenge accepted seasonal ice patterns. First observed on satellite images in the early 1970s, these enigmatic holes usually disappeared with the approach of summer's heat. The most important incident, though, happened during Antarctica's coldest months in 2018, when a large hole around 3,700 square miles suddenly emerged. It grew by an incredible 740 square miles over 2 months before recurring as summer arrived. Long frustrated by their confusing character, these ice-free areas, known as polynyas, have challenged experts. Using satellite data and analysis, recently researchers at New York University Abu Dhabi put out an answer. Cyclonic storms developed near the South Pole in September 2017 from interactions between warm and cold air masses. These storms produced waves up to 52 feet high and cyclonic winds more than 72 miles per hour. These strong pressures opened these vast openings by shifting the Antarctic ice pack. Although visually arresting, these ice punctures are quite important ecologically. Between the ocean and the sky, Polynyas are essential channels for seals and penguins and create homes for phytoplankton. They also serve as possible markers of climate change, particularly as warming may increase polar cyclone activity, therefore upsetting global patterns and affecting more general atmospheric and oceanic dynamics. Number 3. The Ring of Fire. One of the most important discoveries was produced by Edinburgh University. Some of these volcanic peaks match Switzerland's Eiger in height, rising over 44,000 meters higher above the plain of West Antarctica. Over 100 hidden volcanoes are buried 2 kilometers below the frozen surface of West Antarctica. These volcanoes provide possible hazards to the area, even though they have been inactive for thousands of years. An eruption might destabilize the fragile ice sheets of West Antarctica, hence boosting the flow of ice into the sea and hastening the global sea level rise. This finding suggests that the more broad volcanic range of West Antarctica is than of the well-known East African volcanic ridges. Researchers found basalt peaks under the ice using ice-penetrating radar that matched ice-free volcanoes once observed by explorers during the past century. Max Van W. is an undergraduate student at Edinburgh University who first suggested the initiative. This finding suggests that West Antarctica currently has almost 3 times the number of known volcanoes. Nestled along the West Antarctic Rift System, these volcanoes stretch 3,500 kilometers and range in height from 100 to 3,800 meters. Lead author of the study, Bingham, expressed astonishment at the results and speculated that more undersea volcanoes might be hidden under the Ross Ice Shelf. Beyond Antarctica, these recently unearthed volcanoes might have major effects and cause more instability by means of eruptions. Ice sheets help sea levels rise as melting water empties into the ocean. Similar events have been noted in locations including Alaska and Iceland, where rising volcanic activity coincided with glacial melt. The last ice age may have caused West Antarctica, already affected by climate change, to see decreased ice cover. This decrease could release pressure on dormant volcanoes, hence igniting eruptions that wipe out ice sheets and hasten sea level rise. Number 2. The 20-armed beast. In the Southern Ocean, close to Antarctica, scientists have discovered a bizarre species that is straight out of science fiction. This organism is known as the Antarctic strawberry feather star, and it was discovered 20,000 fathoms below. This newly discovered species has attracted both researchers and the general public, with its startling resemblance to a fruit that is already well known. The identification of this species was recently documented by the University of California, San Diego. The Antarctic strawberry feather star can grow to be as long as 8 inches and has 20 appendages that range from being bumpy to feathery in appearance. Marine biologists, including Greg Rouse, who was the individual in charge of the study, have shown a substantial amount of interest in it. Even though it has the look of an alien, upon closer investigation, it is discovered that the tops of its arms have little nubs that are similar to strawberries. These have the function of serving as attachment points for its cirri, which are specialized structures that enable the organism to grip the ocean floor with an extraordinary degree of accuracy. In the field of marine biology, this particular species is a noteworthy addition since it is a member of the crinoid family, which also contains starfish and sea urchins. Before, there was just one species of feather star that was known to exist in Antarctica. On the other hand, during recent trips in the Southern Ocean, 4 additional specimens, including this unearthly species, were discovered. A diversity that had never been seen before has been revealed as a result of the discovery, which has resulted in the categorization of Antarctic feather stars being greatly expanded to include 8 different species. The importance of this astonishing discovery lies in the fact that it highlights the tremendous potential for other discoveries that lie concealed beneath the cold waves of the Southern Ocean. Number 1. The lost subglacial lake, Vostok. One of the biggest subglacial lakes worldwide, and one of the most fascinating scientific riddles on East Antarctica. Lake Vostok is hidden under almost 4 kilometers of ice. For millions of years, buried behind this large ice sheet, Lake Vostok has stayed isolated from the surface, generating a totally sealed environment free from atmospheric impact or sunlight. Scientists think the lake has been frozen under the ice for more than 15 million years, kept entirely black and bitterly cold. Recent studies indicate that microbial life could exist in this subterranean aquatic realm, surviving without sunlight by depending on chemical energy sources, despite these hostile conditions. This begs serious issues on the boundaries of life on Earth and how species survive in hostile conditions. Getting to Lake Vostok has presented quite a difficulty. Drilling across kilometers of ice without polluting this pure ecosystem required decades of meticulous preparation and technical creativity. Russian researchers at last broke through the ice sheet in 2012 and found the waters of the lake, therefore verifying its great extent. For research on ancient temperatures, microbial communities, and maybe even analogues for life on icy worlds like Jupiter's Europa or Saturn's Enceladus, Lake Vostok presents a special natural laboratory. It questions our knowledge of where life can occur and how isolated ecosystems endure over geological time frames. At the front of Antarctic research, the discovery and continuous study of Lake Vostok emphasizes the continent's importance as a portal to knowledge of Earth's past and the possibility for life outside our planet. This frozen, secret lake really captures the attitude of discovery and the uncharted secrets still held under Antarctic ice. These 15 findings serve as only the tip of the iceberg. They remind us that secrets still lie on our planet, simply waiting to be revealed. If this journey into the unknown gave you chills, hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you never miss a moment of exploration. Thanks for watching. Stay curious and click on the next video popping on your screen now.